Guys, today is a great day. We're installing the LED 22-inch light bar on the Overland X5. This light is massive. And I think it's actually gonna fit where I wanna put it. I hope. So bear with me, guys. This is kinda what I'm thinking, but behind there. So I'm sure you guys can't tell, but it is freezing outside. It's a little cold in my garage, so I gotta get started working so I can get warmed up. And we're supposed to get a lot of snow tonight, so I'm probably gonna show you guys that when we go test out this light. So enjoy this time lapse. Let's get to work. As you guys can see, I am once again removing the splash shield to gain access to the flat plastic panel to where I want to mount the LED light bar. Here I have everything laid out: tape, fuses, wire, and female pins for the switch. Take a swig of my Celsius and then start mounting the brackets to the side of the LED light bar to get ready to install it in the front lower part of the front bumper. This part here was a little difficult, but once I got it situated and I was happy with the placement of the LED light bar, I went ahead and secured it with zip ties. Don't worry, I know what you're thinking. Why in the world am I using zip ties? But I promise I will correct that once I figure out the exact placement and be 100% sure this is where I want to mount this LED light bar. Okay guys, don't hate me for this, but I decided to zip tie it on for now to where I want to mount it. And I spun the brackets around where I will be able to bolt it. But this sensor right here, which I think is a temperature sensor, concerns me. Now there's plenty of room for air to get around this and into my intercooler, so that shouldn't cause any problems because the intercooler is right there. But if it does, and I don't like where it is, then the other option is to mount it up there when I get the rack. So now let's get this wire ran, and yeah, we'll go from there. Let's get this wire ran. Here I'm just removing some plastic panels that are in the way, and I just want to be sure that I'm routing this wiring in a way that it looks factory, and I don't want you to be able to tell that I installed a wiring harness. Now it's time to get it all taped up and start feeding the wiring into the areas where I want it to route and get this project finished.
Empty streets, but I kept searching for your trace in the dark. Losing myself in the endless memories of the end right from the start. You're an obsession in my head, I can't forget your eyes. Your kisses burn my skin, I feel so empty inside.
Alright guys, so this is what I have so far. I ran the wire up along through here, so can't really see it in there, which is nice. Then through there, up along there, and it'll tuck down to where that shield, this little shield goes right here. So this sits in there, and it'll tuck it away. Now I just need to figure out how to get it to go in through, I don't have a light, but there's a rubber grommet down here. I'll show you guys in a minute when my light charges where I'm going to run it through. And I think I'm going to put my fuse in here too. And I'll probably end up zip tying this to like this harness here, just so it stays out of water. So I'm going to go ahead and install my fuse in here, and then I'll show you guys once I get it ran through there. Alright guys, sorry I didn't film all this. So I actually didn't have to take this off or this off. This maybe, but it's just some clips here that hold this. And this is the back of that switch, which might be a problem. So when we come over to here, this is that switch panel. So let me get this off here. This is where I wanted to put the switch right here. And it is a dead spot, so I can put it there. Now, the only problem is, where's my switch? So that's how long my switch is. See how big that is? See how small that is? So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I might have to trim some of that. I'm gonna try to figure that out, trim it, drill a hole, see if I can get this to go in there and not mess that up. The nice thing is, I'm pretty sure you can buy just this piece if I mess it up. Or I could just glue it in or something, I don't know, I'll figure it out. But I gotta try to get a hole drilled into that to fit that. And it should look good. All right. All right, so, where that pick is, it's kind of hard to see. It goes through like a rubber grommet. So that's where I'm gonna run a power wire. I'm thinking about tapping into this for my 12-volt constant, because that's exactly what this is. My only concern is when I go to jump the battery, if I ever have to do that, that might not be a good idea. But again, it's still only 12 volts and the switch would be off. Worst case scenario, it would just pop a fuse. Yeah, we'll figure that out. Anyway, you guys are gonna like this though. My switch will go, it's gonna be like right here. And then there's like a little shelf right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run my 3 wires out the side of the switch into a Deutsch pin connector. So if I ever have to take this off, this will unplug. It'll be sitting right there. Here's the stock harness. They both get to unplug, and then it comes out. So it's very serviceable. Love these Deutsch pin connectors. They come in handy. So I checked these out with that circuit board, and they fit. So just gotta like make a little notch right there so all 3 wires can come out and then go where I need them to go. I gotta see about hooking up the power to this. I think if I do, I might end up putting in a relay. Not 100% sure. I'm gonna see if there's any like powers over here, which I doubt there is. And that's another thing too, is I don't see any grounds over here, which I need to find a ground somewhere. So I'm guessing that I'm gonna have some grounds behind this, which I'm really hoping. If I do, then there's a good chance I also have a 12-volt constant behind that, which would be even better. Really wanted to tap into this for the 12-volt constant, but I don't want to overload that circuit board. I got the 12-volt constant wired up, which I am going to get a fuse for this because I don't like it not having a fuse. So I'm going to put a fuse right here for that as well. And then here's the fuse for the 12-volt switched. And then got the Deutsch pin connector. So I had the 12-volt constant on this plug and the 12-volt switched backwards. I almost burnt the car to the ground. So as soon as I turned it off, it sent power right to the ground and melted all the ground wire. So I had it hooked up to a ground down here. I'm hoping I didn't mess anything up. That would suck. So the only thing that ground did on this end was turn on this light, which it's really bright. I didn't like it. So as you can see, so there's no light. And that works. I'm gonna go ahead and put all this back together, and then we'll take it outside and see how bright it is. All right guys, I haven't tried it out outside yet. and it is a wintry mess. So let's give it a shot. For those of you that haven't heard this thing yet, okay, that's with fog lights. That's no fog lights. It's still some light. Okay, that's still some light. That's the new light. Oh my God. All right guys, check this out. This is regular lights with the fog lights. That's high beams. That's with the new light. All right guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching, and if you like this kind of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.